And we are live after a 2-week break. We are back here for Freedom Friday. We are going to continue to attempt to be here as many Friday mornings as possible, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I was speaking to someone who is now a client last week who said he was missing these Freedom Fridays and the impact that it provided. That was so wonderful to hear that feedback. You may agree with me. You may disagree with me. That is fine. I think in today's society, a lot of people pay homage to the fact that they want people to speak their mind and speak their truth. But then when they do, what they really mean is speak your truth as long as it fits the narrative that I have for the way I think the world should be. And as I posted recently on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, I think we need to rediscover and become as good at the art of conversation as we are We are back. I don't know what happened there. We lost you for a little bit. What I was saying was, in today's society, so many people say, speak your truth. Don't be afraid of who you are, but then they try to cancel you. If the truth you speak doesn't fit and conform to the narrative that they have for society, and I think we need to become as good at the art of conversation as we are at the art of cancellation. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. I don't think we should cancel Colin, and I don't think we should cancel Drew. I think we should really have tough conversations. That's what people say they want, right? Yet in many ways, I think this world has become one big virtue signal, one big meme. We're going to talk a little bit about critical thinking and the importance of free thinking later, because critical thinking may lead you to a different opinion than me, and that's fine. Let's have an actual conversation about it instead of just sharing memes and GIFs and substituting that for real conversation and real engagement in this world. There's a lot of people who would like to lecture you over the fact that you don't virtue signal on social media and they haven't actually engaged in that issue on which they are discussing in 20 or 30 years, but they click the like button, they click the share button, and they think they are making a difference in the world. Here's the cold, hard truth. You aren't. You can't click and like and share your way to a better world. You have to actually engage. And if you and I have different opinions, that's fine. Empathy demands that I respect your opinion, that I acknowledge that you have a different opinion than me, but we have a little conversation and perhaps we learn from one another. That's not what I see happening today. Anyways, I want to thank you all for joining today. As usual, whether you're joining us on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, wherever in the world you're joining us from, jump in, share your name, your city, your state, your town, and at least one thing for which you are grateful today. Let's start a gratitude chain. There's enough crap going on in the world, a lot of negativity, a lot of hate, a lot of anger. Let's share our gratitude. And by the way, if this is the first time that you're hearing me talk about gratitude, gratitude isn't simply saying other people in the world have it worse than me and you, and so we should feel guilty about that. No, gratitude is acknowledging there are things in this world that could be better, but starting from a place in which you acknowledge that the world is a wonderful place, that today is awesome. What's awesome about today, but what could make today even more awesome? Gratitude should be a starting point, a launching pad for reaching for more, for making this world even better. So what are you grateful for? Put at least one thing you are grateful for in the comments today. And again, jump in and let us know your name, your city, your state, your town, where in the world you're joining us from. Got Lauren from New York City, grateful for my family. That is awesome. Grateful for my family every single morning, my wife and my 4 children, the ability to spend time together and build the life that we want. Maria from Dallas, I'm grateful that God is faithful. Thank you, Maria, for joining us once again. Don't be shy if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Jump in, share your thoughts, your agreements, your disagreements. That's fine. Emotional outbursts. Let us know where in the world you're joining us from today. I love being here, being able to share some of my day and you having shared some of your day with me as well. Now, the first message I'd like to start off with is in regards to really remaining focused and centered on the life that you want to live, because so many people resort to a life by default. I've worked with a lot of people who are in their 40s or 50s who are still living a life that other people wanted them to live. Their parents, their teachers, their early bosses, their peers from when they were in high school. They reach 45 or 50 years old and they realize that they're living the life that was laid out for them by someone else in their teens. And they want to break free. But by that point, the programming is so deep that breaking free is so tough to do. Why? Because those voices in the back of their head, the voices of other people, of societal expectations are in the back of their head saying, don't risk it, play it safe, feel guilty for living a life that you want. And so they don't break free. They don't take that step forward. The amount of people I have met who have wanted to build their own business for a decade or more, but who do not take that step free because they have come to value and cling to a false sense of security. And they value that over taking steps toward freedom, toward building the business that they want, toward building the life that they actually want. It's to the point where they actually feel guilty about even thinking about defining that the life they want is in front of them. But we live in a permission society that starts at a young age. Sit down, shut up, be seen and not heard. And if you don't do those things, we're going to put you in the corner. We're going to diagnose you with a disorder and drug you up. It is a permission and compliance-based society that manifests itself when people in their 40s and 50s, when they realize they're not living the life they want to live. They want to build a freedom business to make the lives better of themselves and their families, but they feel guilty and they don't know how to move forward. And you know what happens? Not only do they let those external expectations hold them back, they let the how hold them back. I have a saying, and that's screw the how. Don't let the how get in the way of defining your what, because the how can be overwhelming. It gets in the way. You think of step 4, 5, and 6 before even thinking of step 1, before even defining where you want to go. The how can be overwhelming. And when you let the how get in the way of the what, you know what happens? You remain stuck. You remain stuck in the status quo. You do not move forward. It breeds complacency. It breeds fear. And so earlier this week, I was reading a book, Discover the Power Within You by the late Eric Butterworth, who was an author, a minister, radio personality. And I read this quote that is just so appropriate. So I know many of you out there. It's appropriate to all of us, quite honestly, because I move toward my vision every day and I help others get there as well. I help others express themselves through their authority brand so they can reach the right clients with the right message to make more money. That's a sense of freedom. But we all need a refresher from time to time. And Eric Butterworth, in the book Discover the Power Within You, wrote this wonderful quote that I think we should all keep near and dear day after day. He wrote, "Decide the kind of world you want to experience, the kind of friends you want to have, the success you want to achieve, and the kind of conditions you would like to see manifest in your home, your neighborhood, your office, and begin to think the kind of thoughts that will draw them to you by the irresistible force of consciousness." And then he ends with a suggested affirmation, something we should repeat to ourselves every day. He writes, "I keep my thoughts centered upon only those things that I want to manifest in my life." Earlier today, I was listening to Lewis Howes' podcast, and he had the great Les Brown on there. And Les Brown, I'm going to paraphrase this quote, but he said, "Don't let your history kill your imagination. Don't let your past trauma get in the way of you defining the life you actually want to live. When you let that happen, you remain mired in the status quo. You remain mired in the muck. You remain mired in that BS scarcity mindset that is keeping you from moving forward. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter what happened a week ago, a year ago, if you allow that past to trap you, you become a prisoner of the past. But when you allow your thoughts to center on the life you want to live, that's when you move toward them. Remember, I've talked about it before. Your thoughts fuel your ideas. Those ideas fuel your actions, and those actions fuel your results. So if you let garbage thoughts in, guess what? You go along that chain, you're going to get garbage results out. So if you think the same thoughts day after day after day, scarcity thoughts, thoughts that define you by your past, thoughts that cause the how to get in the way of the what, garbage thoughts in, guess what? You're going to get the same results you always have. So I meet people all the time who come to me, who write to me, people I've worked with and coached. The problem is they have the same thoughts day after day. They do not change anything about their routine. They don't change anything about their day. And so they're mired in the same thoughts. And so they get the same results day after day after day. This isn't metaphysics. This isn't magic. Think about a thought right now, maybe a past trauma, something that makes you nervous. What do you feel? You actually feel a chemical reaction in your stomach. It's like you walk up to a cliff and what happens? You feel a drop in your stomach. Why? Because your thoughts fuel a chemical reaction in your body. So if you allow those garbage thoughts in, the only ideas you're going to have are going to result from those garbage ideas. And when you do that, the actions you take are going to result from those garbage ideas, and you're going to get garbage results. Now, I work with a lot of business owners to help them build their businesses, specifically to help them increase their brand authority. And their authority, your authority, lies within your ideas. Your business. If you have a business or a side hustle, guess what? That business started out as a thought. That thought turned into an idea, and in those ideas lies your authority. Those ideas are about how you are going to help improve the life of someone else, because I don't care what business you're in. If it's an effective business, it improves the life of someone else. Whether you're selling a widget, a product, or service, you somehow improve the life of someone else. And so you're an authority on how that happens. Well, your ideas then turn into your business. Your business is the manifestation of those thoughts and ideas. And to build your authority brand, you have to continue to share those ideas with the right clients. You see, it all goes back to the thoughts. It goes back to your mindset. That's where it starts out. And a lot of people want to say that's a cliche, but you know the funny thing about cliches? They're only cliches if you slough them off and say they don't work. Instead of getting down and doing the real work every single day of affirmations and repetition to clear your mind of limiting thoughts, of lack, limitation, bogus beliefs, and replacing them with the thoughts and defining where you want to go. I repeat that affirmation from Eric Butterworth that I read at the beginning of this show. I keep my thoughts centered upon only those things that I want to manifest in my life. Those are power thoughts. That is right thinking. And when you start with the right thinking, it's going to lead to the right ideas, the right actions, and the results that will get you where you want to go. So before we move on to our next topic, I want to go out to all of you. Grateful for you watching right now. We got Laurent from New York City. Grateful for his family. We got Maria from Dallas, Texas. Grateful that God is faithful. We got Scott McPherson joining us on Facebook. Grateful to live in freedom in northern Wisconsin. Thank you, Scott, for joining us. We have Jorge Rosa Filho. Cheers from Brazil, joining us on LinkedIn. If you're just joining us, if you're joining the archive version of this show, please, please, please still jump in. Let us know your name, your town, your city, your state, where in the world you're joining us from. We have people from New York City, from Dallas, from Brazil, from Wisconsin. We regularly get people from around the world joining us. As you join us, thank you for joining us. Jump in. Let us know where you're joining us from and at least one thing you are grateful for today. Let's start a chain of gratitude right now. There's enough shit. There's enough negativity. There's enough feelings of lack, limitation, anger, and hate in the world right now. Let's start a gratitude chain. It starts with you. And remember, gratitude isn't an excuse for guilt and stagnation. Gratitude isn't just sitting there and sulking and say, well, I have it better than others, so I'm going to let guilt prevent me from wanting more. No. Gratitude should be a launching pad for reaching for more in your life. And when I say more, I don't just mean more rewards, more money, more cash, more empty things that don't give you meaning. I mean a life of meaning, a life of freedom, a life of fulfillment. You deserve it. And you can design that life and start living it today. So I'm grateful you're here. As you jump in, let us know your name, your city, your state, your town, where in the world you're joining us from. And let's move to the next topic. We're going to talk about branding. Listen, I think branding, the ability to brand yourself, the ability to sell, is a form of freedom. I've worked with a lot of people to get them to define the life they want. And for so many people, it involves building a business that they've had an idea about for years, but they have trouble doing that. And as I talked about in the last topic, your business started out as a thought, turned into an idea. Your business is the manifestation of that idea. And within those ideas lie your authority. You are an authority on how you use your business to improve the lives of someone else. Guess what? Sharing those ideas with the right clients so they'll give you more money. That is what I call building an authority brand. And if you are a business owner, you have to admit and you have to know that you are an authority. Your business is the manifestation of your ideas, and sharing those ideas allow you to build your business and build that authority brand. Branding is the fuel that will help your sales explode. But when I ask a lot of people about branding, what they say is, oh, it's a logo, it's a color scheme, it's a website. It's about getting eyeballs. It's about getting attention. Yes, attention and getting attention is part of the equation, but it's only part of the equation because right now I could strip down naked and get your attention. I could strip down naked and run down Main Street and get attention, but guess what? Aside from you needing therapy from seeing me naked down the street, not going to build your trust. What's the number one reason people buy from you? They know, like, and trust you. Attention alone won't get that done. So getting attention simply isn't enough. According to the Content Marketing Institute, the average human last year was hit with 4,000 to 10,000 ads per day. 4,000 to 10,000 ads per day. We're over $240 billion in ad spending. That's a lot of people just like you competing for my attention and her attention and his attention, right? So it's not just about attention. It's also about, attention is the first pillar of building an authority brand. You also have to focus on accuracy, reaching the right clients. And I've done a series of polls on LinkedIn, and I can't tell you, the majority of people, seasoned business owners, who don't even know who the right client is. They haven't taken the time and done the hard work of defining their target customer persona. And when I ask them, who's your target customer persona? It's akin to saying, as Joe Pesci likes to say, all God's children. Well, guess what? That's not good enough. Who specifically do you serve? Who specifically gets the most impact from your product or service and will pay you for that product or service? That's basically what I described as the free market. You're trading value for value. And yet, so many people want to lecture you about their products and services and how wonderful they are. And they want to talk to you about, I'm so passionate about helping you. Guess what? Your clients really don't care. It's not that your clients don't have empathy for you. It's that their clients don't care about you as a human being. It's that clients want to know, the right clients want to know, what's in it for me? How will your product or service provide me value and make my life better? So yes, it's about getting attention, but it's about getting attention of those clients, the clients in your targeted customer persona who you serve best, who will get the most impact from your product or service and pay you from that product or service. If you don't have that targeted customer persona, you end up talking to everyone. When you talk to everyone, you talk to no one. You become vanilla. So it's not just about attention. It's also about accuracy and reaching the right clients with the right message. And speaking of message, the third pillar is alignment. It's aligning your purpose with the impact your clients get from you. Again, they want to know what's in it for them. I see so many people, I get on their LinkedIn profile and they talk about how passionate they are and why they do what they do. And buried in there somewhere, if it's even in there, is how their clients or customers benefit from their product or service. I talk to so many people, they are so smart. Talk to a lot of investment professionals. They have some absolute gold in terms of the value they provide their customers, but it gets buried in 7 minutes of fluff and storytelling. They want to talk about how wonderful they are and their product or service. Guess what? That's not going to differentiate you from your customers. Your customers want to know, how is your product or service going to make their lives better? And if you can't state that in 10 or 15 seconds, if you can't state that in one sentence, you're not doing it correctly. So attention's not enough. Attention is the first pillar. It's about accuracy, reaching the right clients. It's about alignment, aligning your purpose with the impact your clients get. I call that the impact story. It's taking that value proposition one step forward. And then the fourth pillar, the fourth A, is authenticity. Not fake authenticity, not pretending you're authentic. You breed authenticity. You build authenticity by showing up on a consistent basis, day after day, being truthful, being factual, showing up with a consistent message so that your audience, those clients who you want to buy from you, who are going to get an impact from you, begin to trust you, begin to know you, begin to like you because they see you time after time. You do what you say what you mean, and you pair it with third-party credibility as well. Those are the four pillars: attention, accuracy, alignment, and authenticity. Those are the four pillars of building an authority brand. It's not just about attention. Attention and eyeballs won't cut it. By the way, if you're interested in learning more, if you're interested in learning how my company can help you increase your authority brand exposure to the right clients with the right message so you make more money, send me a message, drop me a comment right now, email me at Curt, C-U-R-T, at merc.enterprises. Let's set up a call. Let's discuss how I can help you, once again, increase your authority brand exposure to the right clients so you can make more money. Before we move on to our final topic, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I can see people joining us and leaving and joining us and leaving. Please jump in. Even if you're listening to this, watching this later today or tomorrow, jump in. Let us know your name, your town, your city, your state, where in the world you're joining us from. We got Lawrence from New York City. We got Maria from Dallas. We got Scott from Wisconsin. We got Jorge from Brazil. And I know we have more people who are lurking because I can see that people are viewing this right now. Wherever you're joining us from, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, jump in. Let us know your name, your city, your state, your town, and at least one thing you are grateful for. Let's begin this Friday with a sense of gratitude. Let's end this week with a sense of gratitude. There's enough negativity in the world right now. This is a negativity-free zone. Let's move forward, focus on our outcomes, focus on that vision. In the first topic today, I talked about remaining centered and focus on the life you want to manifest, the life you want to live. Keep it up. Good morning, Joe Peachy. Thank you, Joe. Joe's all about remaining focused on process. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in the world. Remain focused on process because you know what? Your life depends on it. Your family's life depends on it. Your clients depend on it. The more you spend spinning out of control on things you cannot control, the more you move backwards instead of forwards toward your goals. Now let's move on to topic 3. Is America losing its free thinkers? And I invite you to go to freedommedianetwork.com right now. This is not a political statement. This is a statement about critical thinking. And critical thinking is absolutely necessary for you living the life you want to live, for building your business, for building your life, for taking care of your family. Thank you. Good morning from Chicago. Always grateful for your segments. Thank you so much for that feedback. Free thought and critical thinking is absolutely vital to this. There's a story, it's the top trending story on freedommedianetwork.com right now. It's with education reformer and activist Chris Stewart, and we have a discussion about free thought and free thinking. I talk a lot about critical thinking. I talked about it at the beginning of this program. Thinking critically is so important to living a life of freedom and fulfillment. Thinking critically is vital to building the business that you want to build, to serving your clients instead of just being a bot, instead of just living in what I call this bot society where we have substituted likes and shares and memes and GIFs and button clicks for actual action. Get off the couch. Start making a difference. I see so many people who think they can build a business just off likes and shares. And what don't they do? They don't meaningfully engage. They don't pick up the phone and call people. They don't even message people. They're afraid of doing it. They want to throw a message out and let people come to them. Listen, that can work for a while, but success in life takes engagement. And engaging in life, engaging in the world takes critical thought, and it takes more than just being a mindless bot. And it starts with our educational system. I have made no secret, simply from a business point of view, our educational system, I shouldn't say our educational system, our schooling system, our schooling industry is woefully inadequate for the businesses we need to build. If you are an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. I've built 3 profitable businesses. They all did 6 figures in year 1. I've had a 7-figure business. Did school prepare me for that? Nope. I can tell you right now, my college education was an absolute waste of money. Nothing I learned in college has helped me build a business. You know what helped me build? Doing by learning. I had more internships and jobs in college than I did college courses. That's where I learned. And we need to move from a schooling system that was built for the Industrial Revolution to churn out bots. We need to move from that to one that enables us to learn how to think, not just memorize facts, not just learn to pass standardized tests. I can tell you, I've been out there in the world. I haven't just worked for other people. I have built profitable businesses. I have helped hundreds of people build businesses as well. I'm not just some country bumpkin saying this. I can tell you that living life as a bot. I used to work in the Chamber of Commerce system, and I will tell you the business community wants to churn out bots for the jobs of today, not the jobs of tomorrow. Why do you think Apple, Google, Elon Musk no longer want to hire people with college degrees? Because they know they have to re-educate those people for the real world. So if you really want to take action, if you want to protest, if you want to march for change in the world, fight to reform our education and our schooling system for one that doesn't just churn out bots that are unprepared for the world of today and certainly the world of tomorrow, but for one that teaches people how to think for themselves. I can tell you right now, that is absolutely necessary to building a business, to building a life. It's absolutely necessary for the economy of today and the economy of tomorrow. But when we talk about reforming the education system, people think you're just a conspiracy theorist. People don't want to rock the boat. They would rather share a meme or a GIF or do something else and live in that bot society. The fundamental nature of the ability to move our economy forward, to move our lives forward, to prepare people for a spirit of entrepreneurship. And by the way, the spirit of entrepreneurship doesn't just mean you're actually building a business. You can have an entrepreneurial, and you look at the most successful companies today are those that have that entrepreneurial spirit alive, even if it's a corporate workplace. Unfortunately, that takes relearning what we have learned in school. So I urge you, go to freedommedianetwork.com. Check out my discussion with Chris Stewart talking about, is America losing its free thinkers, our ability to think critically? This isn't just about politics, my friends. This is also about the ability to prepare ourselves for the world of today, hell, later today and tomorrow, for the entrepreneurial world that is coming our way. The jobs of the future will not just be those in which we churn out bots to compete with the bots. The future is going to belong to the creative, the critical thinkers, and the free thinkers. So thank you so much for listening today. Dr. Dave, thank you. Says, hi, Curt. Welcome. Thank you, Joe Peachy from Orlando, Jorge from Brazil. We got someone from Chicago joining us. I can't see your name right now. We got Scott from Wisconsin. Good morning from Houston, Texas. Dr. Dave, Maria from Dallas, Laurent from New York City. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Whether or not you have put it in there, if you're joining in the archive version, let us know where in the world you're joining us from and at least one thing you are grateful for today. My name is Curt Mercadante. This is the Freedom Friday Livestream. We'll be back next Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you a life of freedom and abundance in which you focus on manifesting your thoughts, ideas, building those freedom businesses. And by the way, my company helps entrepreneurs and business owners get that sense of freedom by expanding their authority brand exposure to the right clients so you can make more money. If you would like help doing that, please drop a note in the comments, message me. You can even call me at 843-300-5075. My name's Curt Mercadante. This is the Freedom Friday Livestream. Thank you so much for joining.